It's 2:30, baby, won't you meet me by the beach? Too early, maybe later, you can show me things.
What's up, you guys? It's Alyssa here, back with another video. Whoa, back with another video. And today's video is all about leveling up, becoming the best version of you. How you need to drop those excuses and get right to it. That's what it's all about throughout this video today. We're talking about things of how you need to let go of fear, how you need to stop blocking your blessings, and you need to block negative beliefs and get rid of negative beliefs throughout this video today. That's what we're talking about throughout the video. But before I get into the video, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe to your girl's channel for some bonfire and lit content. Okay, and let's jump right on into the video. So the first thing I want to ask you is the question is why? Why haven't you started? Why aren't you doing it? What's holding you back? Why? Why aren't you trying? Those are questions you need to literally ask yourself. Say, why? Why haven't I started? Why haven't I done this? Why haven't I done that? Why haven't you started the business? Why haven't you applied for the job? Why haven't you applied for school? You have to ask yourself those questions. And most of the time, like 99% of the time, some of us are literally holding on to certain things, holding on to fear, whether it's negativity, holding on to what people think about us, all those different aspects. We're holding on to that, and we're using that as a barrier to block us from actually doing the thing that God has literally called us to do, or going after the dream in general. Now, I know there's such thing as extenuating circumstances, but at the same time, if you know that you can change, if you know you can make the decision right now to start, why haven't you? Literally, what's holding you back? Like, literally, you're here and you can be there. Now, let's talk about that, because I know that sometimes, you know, when it comes to certain situations, like, God may have us here for a reason. Like, in that position right now, where we are right now, God has us in this stage of life for a reason. So don't get it twisted, honey. Let's not get it twisted. Because God has us in certain positions of life and stages of life to teach us and help us to learn and help us to grow into the individuals that He wants us to be. But let's say you might be the reason why you haven't been able to move forward. It's you versus you. You have to make the decision. What if God is telling you to move forward, but you're too busy holding on to the past? What if God is telling you to start or to do a certain thing, go after the dream, but you're too busy telling God why you're not qualified and why you're not right for the position, when God chose you anyway? He chose you. We have to be obedient and step out boldly. Boldly, honey. Trusting God. Taking the leap of faith. We cannot sit here and literally hold on to the past or start telling God what He already knows about us, or what He knows we are capable of doing, that He will give us the tools and the resources and the strength to be able to do. We have to stop literally holding on to all those different negative beliefs and that all that negativity, fear, and anything that might be holding us back, doubt, all of that. We have to release that and trust God through it. So yes, like I said, there may be such thing as extenuating circumstances, but we are not holding on to excuses. No excuses. If you know you have the ability to change, you have the ability to get through situations, then just do it. You can move forward. You go for anything, mentally, emotionally, physically, all aspects. Whatever God is telling you to do, what you know you need to do, whether it comes to your health, when it comes to your mental health, when it comes to your dreams, your goals, whatever goal it might be, what is holding you back? Figure that out. And if it's an excuse, because you know when it's an excuse, it's what the enemy has put within your mind, it's time for you to release that. We're releasing that all 2024. Letting that go. We're moving past fear. Moving past doubt. You're not holding on to none of that. The next step that I have is you have a choice. You can either sit there or start. You can either sit there or move. It's up to you. It's your decision. And I know it's hard sometimes. It's supposed to be hard. But you know what's harder? You know what's even more harder? Sitting and staying in a position. And I heard this from a motivational speaker, Trent Shelton. Sitting and staying in a position that you know that you can change and that you have the ability to get out of. Sitting and staying and dwelling and soaking on the negative when you know you can change, turn into the positive. Think about that. If you choose to stay and if you choose to constantly think negatively, that's harder on yourself. That's more stress on yourself. You have to choose to be like, you know what, I want to get out of this. I want to change my perspective. I want to change my mindset. I want to shift my mindset. I'm not finna sit here and just dwell on the negative and just sit here and just soak all day long. Like, no, I'm gonna give and make something out of this. Whether you have to accept it, if you don't have the ability to change it, you can accept it, understand that God is in control. Or if you do have the ability to change it, then take the leap of faith and trust God as well. Like, you know, I had to make the decision. I struggle with depression and anxiety, just holding on to so much negativity in general, listening to what the enemy was telling me. But I had to move past that and trust God. I understand what it's like to, you know, deal with mental health struggles or mental illness or whatever you want to call it. But understand that your depression does not have you, anxiety does not have you, fear does not have you, doubt does not have you. It doesn't. You are God's child. And you can get through this. You got this. Don't sit around and wallow in self-pity or be miserable for the rest of your life. Saying, oh, I wish I could have done that back then. No, do it now. This is your life. You have to make the choice. You have to make the decision. Even when it comes with asking for help. Let's say you need help with a certain dream or a certain goal or whatever it might be. You have to make the decision to ask for help. You have to want to help yourself. I heard people tell me that years back when I was dealing with what I was dealing with when it comes to mental health in general. I had to be the one to want to help myself. I had to make the decision. You have to make the decision to be like, you know what? This is my life. I want to improve myself. I want to better myself. Whatever it comes to, whether it's to your mental health, your physical health, your dreams, your goals, whatever it might be, you have to be the one to be like, you know what? I'm going to choose to go after the dream. I'm going to choose to trust God. I'm going to choose to walk out on faith. You have to make the decision. Nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody does anything for us. That when it comes to us like this, from an adult perspective, nobody wants to, and it's not nobody wants to, it's just the fact that nobody's going to do it for you. It's like this comes to also when it comes to the fact that depending on others, we cannot depend on others, and we don't seek the approval of man or of people, but the man above. Like when it comes to this, you have a choice. When it comes to this as well, you can either choose to be positive and optimistic, or you can choose to wallow and just stay in the self-doubt or whatever it might be, the limiting beliefs, whatever it is. You can choose to, you know, walk through the trial or the challenge with a bad attitude, or you can walk through with a good attitude. It's your decision. You can change your perspective. Yes, it's hard sometimes. I go through it on a regular basis with my hidradenitis suppurativa. If you don't know what that is, there are plenty of videos on my channel about it. It's a skin condition that I suffer from. Even with my mental health struggles that I may have struggled with within the past, and just other things in general that a lot of us human beings just in general we go through on a regular basis. But that is okay, because you know we got God by our side. Jesus has overcome the world. So remember that you have a choice. You have a choice. It's up to you. You can do this. Some encouragement to you, understand? You can do this. It's up to you. The next tip that I have for you guys is to focus on the vision. Have vision for your life. Even if you feel like you do know what you want to do with your life, or if you don't know what you want to do, you may feel lost, you might feel confused. The main thing I want to tell you, if you do feel that way, is to seek God. Go to God and ask him, like, God, like, what should I do? Well, he would reveal it to you. It may take some time, but he will reveal it to you. And if you feel like you don't know what you want to do, you are still fulfilling purpose in some way or another. That's one thing I want to say really quickly, is you are fulfilling purpose some way or another. Whether your job position, whether what position you are in your family, your daughter, your mother, your father, your son, whatever it might be, you are fulfilling purpose in some way or another. You're adding light to this world. But back to vision, I do want to say is the fact that we need vision. Listen about where there is no vision, the people perish. We need vision. We need to be focusing on the vision throughout life. Vision helps us to focus on our faith. Like I said in Jeremiah 29:11. God has plans to prosper us, not to harm us, to give us a plan and a future. He promised us that. To give us a plan and a future. He's going to give us you a future. He's going to give you a future. And also too, when it comes to vision, like, even if you feel like you don't know what you want to do with your life, you feel like you don't know where to go, you feel like you don't know what to do, it's the fact of you literally getting up, diving in prayer, going to God, actually trying to figure it out. Now, I'm not trying to say like you have to like figure it out like right off the bat, like you have to figure it out right off the bat. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is the fact that you have to want to have vision. You have to want to keep going, even when you don't feel like it. And I know sometimes that when we are weak, He is strong. It says that about when we are weak, God, as Jesus is strong. He is strong for us. So whenever you feel weak, you feel like you can't go on, you can't do this, you can't do that, God will give you the strength to keep going on. But what I am saying also is the fact that, that's what I'm saying, like, when you feel like you don't have the strength to go on, go to God. That also is showing the fact that you are choosing to keep on going. You are choosing to trust God. But we need vision. Whatever your dream is, your goal, like I said, if you know it or if you don't know it, go to God and seek God. And if you feel like you don't know it, again, kind of repeating myself, but I'm just telling you, you have to have the ability and the mindset to be like, you know, I don't know what I want to do with my life, but I'm willing to try new things. I'm willing to, you know, try something new, to the point to where, like, you know what, I don't know, but I'm going to try something new. I'm going to keep going anyway. I'm going to keep trusting God anyway, through the process that He has for me. Like, you may not know what to do, but you know God is going to make a way. You may not be able to see past the situation, but God's going to make a way. God's going to get you through this. You know God is in control and you're trusting Him. God knows what He is doing. You hear that on TikTok a lot of times. I know we hear that on TikTok a lot, but it's the truth. God knows what He is doing. We have to trust God. Release control and surrender to God, because He knows what He is doing. He is in control. He has your life in the palm of His hands. He is there for you and never leave you nor forsake you. The next tip that I want to say is the fact that excuses is fear behind the curtains. Let's think about it. Let's say you're fearful about a situation. Fear literally holds you back. Let's think about it for real. Like, fear, let's say you want to do something throughout your life. You come up with an excuse when it's really fear behind. Like, deep down you're fearful. Deep down you're scared. Which is normal. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But don't use that excuse. Don't use that fear to stop you from your greatness. That's what the enemy does. The enemy brings up fear throughout your mind. The enemy brings up fear and anxiety to stop you from your greatness. Even depression, even sadness. The enemy brings up all this negativity to stop you from your greatness. There's something so great about you. You best watching this video. There's something so great about you that the enemy can't stand it. But you know what? God gonna show His glory and His goodness through you. He's gonna bring so much goodness, so much of His goodness to your life. See, fear literally was trying to paralyze you. Like I said, it was trying to stop you from functioning, stop you from going after your dreams. You know, it wants you to stay comfortable. It wants you to stay in your comfort zone. It doesn't want you to grow. You don't grow when you're fearful or when you allow fear to take over. You stay comfortable. You stay in your comfort zone. You stay in the same situation. You decide not to go after the dream. You decide to just stay in the same old job position. You don't want to do the business, but you like, you know what? I'll just stay and do the same thing every single day, or just stay in my comfort position, just go after what other people want me to do instead of doing what I actually know I should be doing. Let's get real here. Let's get real. But you have to move past the fear. And stop worrying about what people think either. Like, let's get into that. Like, stop worrying about what people think, or what they say about you, or what they should be telling you what to do. Like, no, you know what you should be doing. This is your life. You know what God has called you to do. Don't sit up here and worry about other people and what they say, and all the naysayers, all the haters, or people trying to tell you that you need to do this and that. Like, honey, you grown, you can do what you literally want to do. But it also comes with being obedient to God. What is God telling you to do? This is your life. You can choose. Like I said, you have a choice. You can choose to stay comfortable, or you can choose to get uncomfortable and grow and evolve. And the fear of failure plays a role as well. Let's get into that. Sometimes you might be afraid that you might fail. At least you try. And also too, if you fail, you get right back up. It's okay if you fail. It's okay if you mess up. It's okay if you make a mistake. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. That goes to all aspects and all areas of life. Every single factor of life. You may mess up in schoolwork. You may mess up in college. You may mess up at your job. You may mess up in life in general. But you learn. You learn and you grow. That's the beauty of it all. God allows us, and He not only forgives us, but He allows us to be able to learn and grow. The next tip that I have is purpose and determination. Know your why. This is a different type of why. Know your why. Know why you're doing this. Be determined. Understand that you have a purpose regardless, no matter what. Why do you want to do this? What is pushing you? What is driving you to go after that dream or that goal? Be ambitious. Keep going. You're doing this with purpose, on purpose, for a purpose. You're never giving up. Giving up is not an option. Like Bianca Olthoff says, like, no. You're not giving up. You're not giving up. Never give up on whatever you're doing throughout life. And the next tip that I have is now. It's time to move now. It's time to change now. Now is the time. Not only is time ticking, ain't no rush, but at the same time, don't let yourself not get at least 1% better than you were the day before. It's time to change. The time is now. No excuses. Drop the excuses. Release the excuses. Release the doubt. Release the limiting beliefs. You got this. I hope you guys enjoyed this motivational video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to your girl's channel for some bonfire and lit content. Okay, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.